So in this section we're going to look at alkenes. When carbon atoms bond to each other, they always form 4 bonds. But this does not, however, mean that each carbon is joined to 4 other atoms. It is possible to have bonds grouped together in pairs. These are called double bonds. Alkenes contain carbon atoms joined by double covalent bonds. And you can see the example there. The 2 C's are joined with a single line, or 2 C's joined by a double line. A series of alkanes exist, differing only in the number of CH2 groups. And if you're not sure about that, have a look at the previous video. The same is true for alkenes. And this leads to a homologous series, that means a similar series, with the general formula CnH2n. And if you remember from the alkanes, their formula was CnH2n plus 2. So this is much simpler, although the other one wasn't difficult, but in this case, the number of carbons is N, and the number of hydrogens is twice as many carbons. Pretty simple. So, what will the formula for alkenes containing the following numbers of carbons be? Well, pretty simple. C is 11, so H is 2 11s, 22. And here are the rest of them. The simplest alkene is ethine. It has the formula C2H4. The carbon atoms are joined together with by a double bond. Its displayed formula, if you remember what they are, may be drawn in slightly different forms, but should always clearly show the double bond. So make sure you've got 2 lines between the C's. In all the alkenes, there are 2 carbon atoms that are joined by 2 pairs of electrons. This is the double bond. And you can see an example on the right. If you remember, in alkanes, it was a single bond, electrons. The displayed formula for propene and butene are shown. Have a go at drawing the displayed structure for pentene. If we can remember what pent means. And there we go. 5. Pentane, naphthalon. We're going to look at saturated or unsaturated now. Saturated simply means full up. Alkanes are saturated. Every carbon atom has already used all 4 of its bonds to join to 4 other atoms. No other atoms can be added. Alkenes, on the other hand, are unsaturated. They have a double bond that could instead become 2 single bonds, which means that other atoms can be added. Therefore, it is not full up. You need to remember this distinction. Alkenes are unsaturated, and so extra atoms can be added to alkene molecules. This forms the basis of a test to distinguish between alkanes and alkenes, and this often comes up in the exam. When bromine water, which is water with bromine bubbled through it, is added to an alkane, nothing happens. However, when bromine is added to an alkene, the red colour of the bromine disappears. So simply the test for an alkene is that it will decolour bromine water. This has been on the exam for the last few years, so you might want to remember that. You can have a go at this. By now it should be fairly easy for you, with any luck. And here we go, just filling them in. You might want to pause it and have a look at exactly how they are formed.